This is one of my favorite topics to talk about, and this is being nimble while you're traveling. I had the inspiration to actually do a video of this from my friend Paddy. We were talking about being nimble in your life and being able to adapt to different situations, being light on your feet, and the benefits that come from being light on your feet. And I have this philosophy for all of traveling. I have not checked a bag into a plane in close to 10 years. The last time I checked a bag onto a plane was during my first long trip to Asia, and I did the classic huge hiking rucksack with the foldable top. I took hiking boots, I took a sleeping bag. To demonstrate this point, I needed so little of the massive amount of stuff that I took that my family, before I left, had hidden inside the sleeping bag this blue tack worm that we'd always hide for each other, and the person that finds the worm then has to hide it for the other people. They'd hidden the worm in the sleeping bag, and because I took so much random guff with me and just didn't need a sleeping bag, I didn't find the worm for months. And they were probably sat there going, oh, he's just ignored the worm. But the fact is, I just took way too much stuff and I didn't need it. And now what I do is I travel with one bag. The clothes that I need, the laptop I need for work, and that's about it. I have some other things, like a Kindle that I love to take, because you can have 5 or 6 books on the go without having 3 kilograms of weight on you. Also has a backlight so I can read in bed when my girlfriend's asleep. And the point of being nimble is that it lets you be open to much more opportunities. Imagine 2 sets of people. One of them has a rucksack on with their passport, their laptop and their clothes. The other one has checked in a huge suitcase and has a backpack and maybe has an additional rucksack that they're carrying all the random stuff that they couldn't fit in the big suitcase. When presented with an opportunity to jump into an exciting situation, hey, we're going on this trip up the mountain, do you want to come? The person with one bag can say yes immediately because the bag's probably packed. The person with the suitcase and the extra bag now has to lug this ginormous suitcase to go on the same adventure. Another situation is if you need to leave somewhere in 30 seconds or less from heat. I absolutely love that quote. You should be ready to leave in 30 seconds or less. I completely agree. I am. Are you? I actually might make a video on that because it's really good. You don't have to be as extreme as, oh, I need to run away from the police. But I mean, you should have so little stuff that to organize it in 30 seconds is easy. But if you need to leave somewhere in 30 seconds, do you know where all of your stuff is? Let me show you mine. There you go. I've got my gym gear in there. I've got my laptop in there. My passport's in there. If I need to, I can go and survive on that somewhere extremely cheap on a beach. I've got shorts in there. I can go and survive indefinitely with that and build myself back up from zero, because I've got the laptop to work, I've got some spare clothes to work out in, sleep in, I'll probably be by the sea, and I can travel abroad. You can survive indefinitely in that. That's being nimble. That is truly nimble. I just made a video on the benefits of a 3-day fast as well. I might ramble a bit in this video, so if you're enjoying it, nice one. If not, sorry. I just did a video on a 3-day fast and how it gives you the security to know that you can go 3 days without food. This ties into being nimble, because being nimble isn't just about being light on your feet. Being nimble is all about being adaptable to the situation and having the confidence that you can survive without knowing ahead of time what's going to happen. Having done a 3-day fast and now knowing I can survive 3 days without food, that adds a whole new layer to being nimble. Because I know with this bag, I as long as I can find some water, I can survive 3 days with just this bag on my back and probably make some money on the way that would let me buy food. But if I can't make the money, I can't find the food, I know I can survive 3 days. That's nimble. I love this next one, which is, are you ready to say yes? I alluded to it a little bit earlier, where I gave the example of the person with one backpack versus the person with 3 suitcases. You never know who you're going to meet, and people in different walks of life have very different access to resources. And there is a chance that starting a conversation with a stranger will end up with you on a private jet. And I know that this is true because it's happened to a close friend of mine. And if he didn't carry his passport around and wasn't nimble, didn't have the confidence in himself to say yes, he wouldn't have ended up in that situation. There's another argument, which is that a dangerous situation to be in? That's completely down to your ability to read the situation, your intuition. But being nimble means that in the right setting, you can say yes to everything. What are some good ways to get more nimble? I'm gonna pull this out of my experience, because I didn't actually plan on doing this section of the video. One of the ways that you can get really nimble is reducing your reliance on all the crap that you bring around with you. I see people that work remotely and they have something they put their laptop on which gets the screen up here, and that's good because of your posture, fine. I think there's other ways to sort it. That means you've got to carry this huge thing, this huge stand for your laptop around, and then you need a mouse and you need the trackpad. I've used them, they're really good, but it just means that you're doubling. The laptop's already heavy if you're carrying one bag. You don't need all of this extra stuff. So you just reduced the equipment you need to work remotely in half by not needing to have the screen up. Another one is taking a few of the principles of minimalism, which is when you look at the items that you carry around with you, and I love the phrase, what you own ends up owning you. I'm not an extreme minimalist, but I don't have that much stuff. I've tailored the things that I do to mostly require my brain, a laptop, and a few sets of clothes. So you can do the same. If you are someone that enjoys a hobby, like my friend Charlie, like windsurfing, necessarily you need a windsurf if you're going to do it regularly. It's a bit inconvenient to borrow it all the time. But if you choose hobbies, if you really are keen on traveling and being light and nimble and working remotely doing sales, it's one of the great pleasures is just living out of one bag and knowing that you can survive indefinitely with the thing that you can fit on your back, and being nimble, being able to say yes to different things. I can't imagine carrying a huge suitcase around all the time. What an absolute inconvenience. Always add value. See you later.